Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft Access. In this module, I want to go through how you can link an Excel spreadsheet into an Access database. So this is the service database that we've been working on. This is part 9 of the service database series. What I've got in this database is a table for parts, but what I want to do is not use this table or use an Excel spreadsheet that I can link into this database, and then when the parts are updated in Excel from whichever source, or the prices are updated, the quantities are updated, I can utilize that in my database. So down the bottom here, I've got a parts list in Excel. Simple, just some stock values there. So this is what I would update and keep updating. I want to link this into an Access database so that I can utilize these figures and these stats in my reports. So this is just called stock. I'll just close it down for now. I'll just minimize Excel. Now to do that, all you do is you go to external data, and there's the export element. We're not exporting anything, we're importing it and linking it. So you've got a new data source from file, because it's an Excel file. Just click the Excel option, and then you just need to browse for the file which is in documents called stock. Now the option I want down below is to link, so I'm leaving it in Excel but linking it into Access. Clicking OK, it takes you through a very short wizard. It's asking you, is the first row your column headings? Yes it is, so they become the fields, and you can see it's picking up the correct information there. You go next, and then I'm just going to call this TBL stock, and then finish, and then that's brought that table in, and you can see it there with the little symbol. Now if I open this table, you can see it's got the same items as the Excel stock sheet. Now if I open that Excel file again, stock, okay, it's got down as edited, it's locked for editing. That's because it's opening Access, so you're going to get that coming up. So I'll just close it down in Access and open it back up in Excel just to add a couple of, or one different item, or make a change. So just make this full screen. So last item on there is gearbox. So if I put wheel, hub, Mazda, and let's say I've got 10 of them and they are £1.50. I'll say they are, I don't know which they are, £100, and then just pull this down. Oh, it's already picked it up. So the stock has changed. If I save that and then go back into Access, open up the stock table, there it is at the bottom there, already there. So you can be confident that once you've linked this table to an Excel file, that it will pick it up and will be updated. So this now is a total replica of the table in Excel. So I'll just close this down. Now because it's in Access, you can run reports on this, create queries, create forms. So I'm going to just show you a couple of that. So I'll do a straightforward report on this table, which isn't going to tell you much. I'll just click on the report option so you can see it. So that's the printout, if you like. There's your stock value at the bottom there. Now, as I've always said, when you run these wizards, you usually have to go into design to sort this sort of thing out, where it's truncated a little bit. But if I close that one down, that's a straight, I don't want to save that. That's a straightforward report. But if I want to create a query, so let's create a query and add this. So at the moment, if I go to this one, service details, if I just go into design, so if I just create a query that's got service and the stock table instead of parts, let's go back into and do that. So create query, query design, I'll add stock, just drag it across, and I want the service table, I'll just drag that across. So we need to link these two together. So we need to find the key that will link them together. So it's part ID. So if I link part ID together, And then what you can do is, I'll just bring all the fields down, but I don't need all these fields, but I can pick them out when I'm doing the report in the wizard. So just double click on that one, double click on that one, save this. I'm just going to leave it as query 1 because I'll delete it afterwards. OK, and then just close that one down. So now I can base my report on query 1. So it's create. This time I'm going to do the report wizard. It's on query 1, but I don't want all of this. So I want the service date, because I've already got reports with all this information in. So I just want the date, and I don't want any of these because I want to work out what we've spent in terms of parts. So what have I spent in terms of parts? So if I go, we've got stock value there. So I'm going to need stock item. So I'll take that one across. So service date by stock item and stock value, not stock value, item cost. In fact, quantity as well I'll take, and item cost. I'll take those 4 across, see what that looks like. And if you haven't got the right fields, you just come and run the wizard again and have a go. But all I'm showing you here is that you can actually use reports and queries on an Excel linked table. So it wants to ask me, do I want any grouping? I want a group by date. It's picking up as month, that's okay. Come up next. So I've got summary options. So item cost, I want to summarize the item cost and I want to know what that is as a percentage of the total cost. Okay to that. Next, change this to landscape, leaving that on steps. You've got these different options there. Not sure which is the best actually. Steps is always what I pick. And then next, I'm going to leave it as RPT query 1. But then I'll just finish that off and see what we'll get. So silly title, so you need to change that, but it's service date by month, and then there's the items you've used, and it's telling you there £34 spent, 32% of your total. January total there, £30 spent, and so on and so on. And down the bottom you should have the total cost spent is £104. On these dates they're all filters, that's why it's only £10. No gearboxes. There's a fan belt at the top. Now, I don't like the way this is coloured grey, so you can go into design on this and sort this out. You can change everything. You can change the title, call it stock report. Spell it right, stock report. Maybe change these to be bold or something. Let's have a quick look at that again. Summary service date, 4 records. Do I need that? No, I don't, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I've said it a million times about when you use the wizard, you have to put up with these extra bits and bobs that it puts in. Like standard instead of the word percent. Standard doesn't mean anything to me, but percent does. That looks okay, it's better, easier to read, less cluttered. So that's the report, so I'll close that down, I will save that. And now if I go back to the stock in Excel, and let's add some more stock. So let's say we've got a BMW hub cap, so we've got 10 of them, and they're £20. So that's changed. Save this and close it. Go back into Access, see if that's picked it up. Yes, it has. Okay, so that's how you link a table from Excel into an Access database. You will have to think about the links if you want to make links in the database, so you can't just bring it in and then expect it to connect up to all these other things that you've already created. So this would be an option rather than having a table just sitting in Access itself. So hopefully that's been of use to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for your time.